Well, what's poppin'? Welcome back to Midwest Talks Basketball. It's Monday. Yeah, it's Monday. Snow. Well, it's a little bit of snow where I'm at. Ice. You know what I mean? It's like, oh man, the winter coat. It's officially time to come back out with the winter coat now. Gloves, hat, everything. You know what I mean? So over here in the Midwest, it's cold. It's cold. Which honestly, I don't really mind it. You know what I'm saying? Because I like to bundle up anyway. I like to wear a lot of layers. So, that's just me though. So, I know how to kind of navigate through this. You know what I mean? But it's the ice and the snow and all that. That's the problem when you're driving. Black ice, you know what I mean? Slush snow, you know what I mean? When you're trying to come out of docks, that's a problem, you know what I mean? Some people don't like to put salt in their docks. Yeah, that is terrible. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things that's a problem that I have to deal with. But either way it goes, man, it's Monday. Time to get through the week. Should be a smooth week. I got everything scheduled all the way up to Sunday. So I should be able to coast this week, man. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you sub to both channels, man. The backup and the channel. If you want to hear music, mixtape stuff, highlights, hit the promo channel. You know what I'm saying? But make sure you sub to the channels though to get all the content, man. But yeah, topic at hand. I was thinking about something, man. I'm like, man, do anyone love the game anymore? Like, is it all about the money only? And I get it. We in this whole era where it's all about the bag, and I think social media did this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do think social media did this. Because you got all these cats. Like, listen, the internet, I'm not going to sit there and tell you I don't appreciate the internet. I love the internet. You know what I'm saying? As far as, like, getting your stuff out there without having to have a team and all that. You can push your stuff out there without having to rely on nobody else. So the internet works wonders. You know what I'm saying? For stuff like that. Like, putting out content. I love the internet for that. But when you got all these people out here lying to you as well, you know what I mean? A person to listen to a 10-second clip, I think that's how they live. Or they'll see a video that's 5 seconds and think their whole life like that. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can portray anything. Then you got these people putting out this information to these young cats thinking that's the way it go. You know what I mean? You got to have some sense of pride and wanting to lay down some sort of legacy. These players don't even want to lay down no legacy. It's all about the bag. I'm just doing whatever. I'm going to get the bag. They don't care about no legacy. If you look at the players back then, yeah, they got paid. They got paid straight too. And it's all about what you invest, man. Like, just because you make more money, that don't mean that, you're going to have more money. All right? That's the thing. It's all about how you take care of your money. So, because these players still go broke. All that money, they still go broke. And that's a discussion for another day. You know what I mean? $150 million contracts, this, that, and third. Still going broke. Why? Because you want to show off. You know what I mean? You want to show you got it, prove you got it. Take care of people, take care of your family. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying it like you shouldn't. I'm saying it like, you want to show you a big dog. So I'm going to pay your mortgage. I'm going to pay all your bills. I'm going to do this, that, and the third. You don't get no return on that. Eventually, you know what I'm saying? Eventually, it's going to bite you in the ass, man. Like, that's just what it is. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? So these cats not smart with their money. Just because you're getting a lot, that don't mean you smart with it. So they still end up broke. You see what's going on. Cats got liens on their cribs and all that kind of stuff. And you be scratching your head like, huh? You make what? Bad decisions with money. So when they start talking about that money, I don't want to hear it because these guys is terrible with money. 100%. 100%. So nobody want to lay a legacy down whatsoever. Nobody care about being great like that, and it's kind of a shame, you know what I mean? Because there's records in place for a reason. Like, why don't you want to, put your name in the history books? You know what I mean? You want people to remember you when you gone and all that type of stuff. I mean, people say stuff about Jordan and all that, but people still talk about MJ to this day. Why? Because he cared about his legacy. Kobe cared about his legacy. Yeah, people have issues and problems and stuff like that. Nobody's perfect, right? So I gotta stress that nobody's perfect. So yeah, Kobe may have had some issues to where he wanted to get traded, or he has a couple games to prove a point by not shooting. But at the end of the day, Kobe cared about his legacy. He played when he was able to play. It wasn't all about the money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, if they're gonna offer the contract, you know what I mean, you're gonna take that, but you can get your money's worth by them. That's the difference. You know what I mean? You pay one of these players from the 90s or whatever, they gonna give it their all. You look at a guy like Allen Iverson, though his flaws or whatever his flaws was, he put it on the floor out there. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that slowed down T-Mac was injuries. You know, Vince Carter was. I mean, you go to the 90s, 2000s, all of that. These guys cared about legacy, dog. I seen an interview with Kevin Garnett, man. I forgot who was interviewing him. I don't even want to say. I got in my mind, I think I know who it is, but I don't want to say the wrong thing. But KG, before he got traded to Boston, he had an interview about how much he just want to win. I just want to win. I don't really, you know what I'm saying? I ain't hear nothing about no money. And he was getting paid good. He like, man, I just want to win, dog. You know what I'm saying? I just want to win. These guys don't care about winning. I seen a article or a post, and I don't know how true it is, but it said like a scout or something say LaMelo Ball don't take the game serious. I wouldn't say that. I mean, if you look at a play, I could see that being the case. But LaMelo don't play like, for me personally, LaMelo don't play like I would want my point guard to play. All right? You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna come on here and be the old school dude, like, oh man. Nah, I mean, he got a lot of flash to his game. He do. You know what I'm saying? LaMelo can ball, but you know, it's a product of today though. Because, you know, some of the stuff he do, he wouldn't be able to get away with if you really playing like some straight up defense. Like, you're not gonna be able to get away with some of the stuff he do if you dealing with that old school defense where they pressing up on you. A lot of this stuff you won't be able to do, man. All that dribbling with the rock, dribbling the air out the ball, nah. Like, you know, it was a reason why you get to your spots in 3 dribbles or less, because the defense is on you like that. That's all you can do. You know what I'm saying? That's all you can do. With the defenders of old, you have to be able to master the ability to get to your spots in 3 dribbles or less, because the defense is on you like that. That's why they say the game don't look fancy. Yeah, but how you gonna be able to do all that fancy stuff with somebody dead in your chest, man? And you can hand check. You're not gonna be able to do all that. So I mean, nah, he wouldn't be able to get away with any of the stuff he's doing. But they play such loose defense, you know what I mean? Then, you know, it is what it is. And then you gotta look at the stars of the day, man. Like, a lot of people feel like the game is soft, you know. And look, I can understand why they would say something like that, you know, especially with all this load management and all this science stuff and this, you shouldn't have to do this. You know, players back then really, even with all the science and stuff they got here, all the physical science now and sports medicine, the players back then still seem more in shape. I find that ironic. You know what I'm saying? That the players of old had less, they had access to less, but they was more in shape. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so I mean, it's like that around everything. Like, you know, everything is affected by this new social media era. Honestly, you know, it's not just basketball. You look at music. I'm a hip hop guy. Okay, love hip hop. Okay, hip hop is not in a good space. Okay, I just say that. You know what I mean? Hip hop, rap music is not in a good space. You know, it's taken as a joke. It's not even. It wasn't even charted recently. First time in like 40 years or something like that, which is crazy. But all these kids care about is the bag. They don't care about putting out no dope product. They don't care about putting out no dope product. Gone are the days where somebody go in the lab and really think about the product they putting out. They just want to throw out some mumble raps, you know what I'm saying, on a nice beat, you know what I'm saying, and throw it out there. And then, and I don't see, listen, musically, I don't see how people like it, you know what I'm saying? And that's not no knock, because when I was coming up, I liked old school rap still, like, because my era is not the 80s and, and all that, you know what I mean? But I did like the old school rap. Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, and them. That's not my era. I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? But I listened to it. I thought it was cold. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was cold still, My era is more so, you want to say, when I started getting my own stuff. I'm really from the Nas, Tupac, Mobb Deep, Biggie, all that. That's when I can really remember all the stuff I was listening to. And then we go on over to 50 Cent and all that, you know what I mean? And all that. So, Goody Mob, the South, No Limit, Cash Money, all that, you know what I mean? That's my era. And if you look at how they did things, you know what I'm saying? They cared about the album. You had the single, maybe 1 to 3 singles, all right? Sometimes 4, depending on how hot, like, depending on your momentum, you might get a 4th single. But the sweet spot is usually, it's like 2 singles. It's usually 2 singles for the most part, right? You get 2 singles, you know what I mean? But, you listen, you got skits in the album. It's like a story. Master Ace, he put out some of the best concept albums I ever heard, dog. Some of the best. All right? And some might be like, who's Master Ace? Do your homework. He put out some of the best concept albums I've ever heard. Like it's a story from the beginning to the end. You put in work. You care about what you put out there. You know what I'm saying? You care about your art. It's not about the money. You care, because guess what? When you was practicing playing the game, it wasn't about the money then. You cared about being great, being better. You know what I'm saying? You cared about that, and then the money came afterwards. You know what I mean? Like, these guys put the money first before they even want to do anything. I don't know, man. That stuff don't make sense to me. And now you're looking at the product of the game. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to put the money first. You cannot lead with money and think you about to get greatness. It's like a marriage. It's like a relationship. You know what I mean? If you lead with money, it's gonna fail. Because money goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, depending on certain circumstances. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so, at what point is it about being great? At what point is it about being one of the best big men of all time? At what point is it about being one of the best point guards of all time? You know what I'm saying? At what point is it about, man, I got to make it to the playoffs every year I play? You know, something like what? You know what I mean? When is it about that? It ain't never about that. It's always about the money. I'm chasing the bag. I mean, that's cool. Go chase the bag. Go chase the bag. You chasing something to give away. You know what I mean? That's the thing. You chasing. You can't give away legacy. You give away money. Right? You can't give away legacy. Your legacy is cemented. Money isn't. Money isn't cemented. You know what I mean? But hey, that's fine. I mean, people. Hey, I can't. My thing is this. You can't be upset about the mindset, but you can't complain about people talking about, things of the past or whatnot when you're not putting out nothing good. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't talk about, oh man, the 90s is trash or we done with that. But yeah, you're not even putting out nothing nowhere close to that. You're not putting out nothing nowhere close to that quality of basketball. If you go back and watch basketball, right, go YouTube has full games up. Go back to any game from the 90s to 2000 to see how the crowd looked, see how the game was played. Just look at it. And then you turn on one of these games. Terrible. You have players like, dang, I don't want to miss this game. I got to play. versus on, man, listen, I got a little bit of soreness, man, in my ankle, man. I'm gonna sit down for 3-4 games. You know, and that's partially why you're getting paid a lot of money. Because, you know, it's really, I look at it like this, you know, it's really setting you up for early retirement. You know, but you gotta live a certain way. So if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But the thing is, you know, this flashy lifestyle and this, you know, high octane lifestyle, you know, that burns through the money like you know, lighter fluid and flames. You know what I'm saying? It just burn right through it. But you know, none of these cats want to live a regular life or a low-key life because they're trying to show off for their friends, show off for girls and all that kind of stuff. That's what they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? So if that's what you want to do, fine. But really, they paying all that money to set you up for early retirement because of what you're putting your body through or what you're supposed to put your body through. You know what I mean? You're getting paid that high tag because it's like, man, you ain't supposed to be tearing Achilles or tearing ACLs or tearing this. Your body shouldn't have to go through that. But the fact that you playing 82 games a year, you practicing probably, depending on what's going on, 4 times out the week to travel, you getting paid for all of that. So really, you know, technically you should be low-key saving this stuff. You know what I mean? So when you do retire, you can relax. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. But that's not how people use it. And you do what you want to do. It's your dough. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you should be set up, honestly, after that. You should be set up for the rest of your life after that. But, you know, they not, even if you do give these kids financial advice, they're not listening, bro. Like, they not listening at all. They're not going to. You might get a couple that will listen about, you know, giving you financial advice. They gonna say you lame. What are you talking about? You didn't make nothing. How you telling me, man? I got 70, you know what I mean? 70 milli, blah, blah, blah. What do you know? You know what I'm saying? Or they look at you because you ain't got no chain on. You don't got the highest, most expensive shoe on. You know what I'm saying? You may just got a sweatsuit on, clean and all. They like, man, what you know, man? You may be driving a Nissan or a Honda or something. They're like, man, what do you know? What do you know? What are you talking about? But really, the key is having it in that bank account. You know what I'm saying? They wearing it, you got it in your bank account. It's all right, young fella. You got it, young fella. You right. You got it. Go ahead and do your thing. You know what I'm saying? So they not going to listen. You can try to pass on the info. They're not going to listen. They're not going to listen. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Man, look. Man, look, the game, it's unfortunate the game is like this. It's very hard to watch. Very hard to watch. Nobody had any own identity. I mean, you know, this is hard to watch, man. It's all about the bag. Everything's about the bag. Everything. So when everything's about the bag, there will be no authenticity in it. That goes from sports, music, relationship, anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you won't get no quality if it's all about the bag. You know what I mean? Money rotates. You know what I'm saying? You know, money work rotates, man. You can get money, spend it, get it back. As long as you work hard, you get the money back, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's the fact that people don't really want to work that hard for it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they lose it, they don't want to get it back. You know what I'm saying? I've been through all kind of stuff to where, you know what I mean? So you just got to get it in. You know what I mean? But legacy is not important to these players anymore. Legacy is not important to these players anymore, or anything else. You know, nobody cares. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody cares about putting out a classic album that's timeless because they care about the bag at the moment. They don't care about having nobody today got a timeless album or no classics in my eyes. I don't hear no classics out here. Now the clips, I think the clips, that might be, that album's fire. And guess what? They from a different era. You know what I'm saying? They pretty much 50. You know what I'm saying? They pretty much 50. And they put out fire album. That album's fire. I actually bought that album from the website. You know what I'm saying? Like I support. Listen, there's nothing wrong with, because you know you got people like, why you still buy albums? Absolutely, I still buy albums. Now I may buy the digital joint. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna buy it. You know what I mean? On some support stuff. Cost me what the digital one cost, $7.99. You get the physical. They had a couple special editions. I didn't want the physical, man, because I'm like, I don't even got no CD player. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I don't have no CD player in my car, none of that. So it's no, unless I'm just collecting it in the plastic. But you know, I like to listen to my stuff. So I just got the MP3, man. You get one copy for customer or whatever. So yeah, man, like I got the digital. When I was at the family reunion, I bought it, listened to the album about 3-4 times. When I went to my wife's family reunion, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, look, I'm gonna buy the album. I'm gonna cop the album, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's dope, I'm copping the album. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean the clips they put out some class, some close to a classic. I mean, if someone says it's a classic, I'm not mad at you. It sound like classic clips. They sound like older, but classic clips. You know, Pharrell and them still cold. You know what I'm saying, on the beats, man. That was refreshing to hear. You know what I mean? So, look, man. I'm not on some get off my lawn stuff. You know, the thing is, I grew up in an era where people cared about what they put out. They cared about the work. They cared about getting it in. You know what I'm saying? And these guys don't care about that no more. They want to do less for more. That is what it is. I mean, listen, y'all see how I do my channel. You know, some people may think I'm insane. Like, oh, this cat, man, this dude. Look, I'm from an era where they got busy, and there's no excuse for me not to get busy. There's no excuse for me not to get busy. You know what I'm saying? I got everything right here in my hands. There's no excuse for me not to be uploading. There's no excuse at all. I can't make an excuse. You know what I'm saying? I got the phone right here where I can edit up the shorts. You know what I'm saying? I could upload stuff from the phone. There's no excuse for me. I can't even make an excuse. I got to get it in as much as I can. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not worried about what the next, you know, I'm worried about what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, at the end of the day, I got to get it in and do what I do. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I look at it like that, like, man, I didn't grow up with this type of stuff in my hands. I didn't grow up with access like this. You know what I'm saying? I remember when my first YouTube channel, which is Mr. Midwest Pro, I done rebuilt that channel like three times, dog. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's my experimental channel, man. I done tore it down like 3 times. Deleted everything and re-put it. That's just what that channel, I'm not doing it again. You know what I'm saying? I'm good with what it is, the promo channel now. But, you know, I've done that so many times. But the thing is this. I remember where I had to go to the library to upload stuff. I didn't have YouTube on the phone. I had an old school Nokia phone. You know what I mean? So, man, look, it wasn't, uploading videos wasn't that easy back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was not easy to do like that back then. So they make it so easy now. I'm going to utilize it. So I'm going to get it in. I'm going to get it in. So I'm not, man, listen, I'm going to get it in. So, you know, on this channel, you know, I'm more so active on this channel. I'm active on my second channel. That's still a consistent channel, but I'm 3 times a day here. I try to, you know, there may be a time where I go down to 2. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But for right now, it's 3 a day. But either way it goes, whether it's 3 or 2 a day, it's still every single day, you know what I'm saying? So, and it's going to always be between 4 to 6. That's just the time slot I do, you know what I'm saying? So if I was to go down to 2 a day, it'd be 4 and 6. You know what I'm saying? 4 and 6, you know what I mean? So if I do that, you know, whatever, you know what I mean? But, I don't see that happening, but if it does happen, it's no big deal. It's not like, it's not like I can't handle it. I'm probably working on something else too, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm working on something, I'm probably going to do 2 a day. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I'm working on the super tape. I'm working on the super mixtape, you know what I mean? So, because I have writer's block. I've been having writer's block like crazy, but I'm trying to put out a dope mixtape, another mixtape, you know, the website, you know, show love to the mixtape. So I'll be putting pressure on myself, like, so now I'm thinking I got the cover art already. So I'm thinking of doing a super mixtape, dropping on my birthday. You know what I'm saying? And that is gonna be a lot of songs of me just getting it in, rapping, you know what I'm saying? So on all type of different beats, man, different styles of beats, southern beats, you know what I'm saying? East Coast beats, West, all that. So I'm once I start really working on that, you know what I'm saying, then I might do 2 a day because I got to record music and things like that, you know what I'm saying? So, but either way it goes, you're still getting everyday content. So, I'm here to bring you consistent content. If you subscribe to me, I'm not gonna abandon my channel, you know what I'm saying, or not give you that work, you know what I'm saying? Some weeks better than others, some days better than others. You may not like that, not put up 1 week. You know what I mean? It is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But that's why, I just get it in, man. You're not gonna like everything I post, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case is, but there's gonna be something you do like. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. So I pulled in work. So let me go ahead and get it in, man. Start this Monday. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the content. Greatly appreciate from everybody. Peace.